Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting and casino industries. This week in our state and national reports, we're going to be doing October, November, December, and January numbers.
October numbers?
Yes.
Wait. Let me guess. Hello, Arizona.
There you go.
All right.
Deals, we've got a tennis deal, we've got a motocross deal, golf, and an airline deal to discuss.
An airline deal?
Yes.
Okay, I think I heard about this, but
Yes.
I'm very curious
Not
to learn.
much to discuss.
I'm very curious to learn more about it, though.
I'm curious, too, but there's not much to talk about. But,
Okay.
industry updates, we've got licenses, launches, lawsuits, closures, suspensions, all that good stuff.
All right.
And then we're going to finish up with our legislative roundup with news out of Missouri, Maryland, and New Hampshire.
Okay.
We're going to start talking state and national reports right after this. Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our state and national reports heading back to the month of October 2024. We've got the state of Arizona releasing their numbers, and they were slightly more delayed than usual because of the holidays.
Okay.
State of Arizona became the 7th state to pass $20 billion in handle post-PASPA, as well as they reported a record handle in the month of October as well.
Okay. You know, the one great thing about, reporting on Arizona, it's usually the last state to report in a month, and this was it like been 4 months since October. I'm not doing the math. But now you can, I'm sure you're going to tell us.
Almost 3 full months.
I'm sure you're going to tell us the top 10 in handle for October now. Now that we can get it all computated, now that Arizona joined the party.
Exactly.
We can now figure it out.
Well, Arizona broke into the top 10.
Well, look at that. Look, it was worth the wait then.
For October, final top 10, we have New York, Illinois, New Jersey. They're the $1 billion club.
Okay.
Actually, New York is the only member of the $2 billion club. Illinois and Jersey also are $1 billion each. Then rounding out the top 5, we have Ohio and Pennsylvania. And then the bottom 5, Nevada, Arizona's there, number 7. Massachusetts, Virginia, and North Carolina broke into the top 10.
You know, it's interesting. Illinois beat New Jersey for the
well, they're always flip-flopping.
Yeah, it's always back and forth. Yeah. It's Illinois, I wonder how much of that is parlays. So they seem to be a lot. Big parlays.
Well, if I remember correctly, October and November numbers for Illinois were actually like 60%, 65% parlays were that much of the handle. So
we're talking about Halloween. I'm trying to remember back to October, so I don't know. But no, good for Arizona. They cracked the top 10.
Yep. Moving into the month of November of 2024, here we are in January, still talking November numbers. We have Nevada. They were also slightly delayed because of the holidays.
Okay.
8th month with at least $60 million in revenue. That's the month of November. Mm-hmm. State's online sports betting handle also accounted for nearly 70% of the overall handle in the state for the month.
Okay.
It's unusual to see that. And football wagering resulted in $40.7 million in revenue. That's a 130% year-over-year increase.
Okay.
For football wagering.
See, you throw me these numbers. I'm trying to think of what was happening in November in Nevada. And what was that the F1 or was that the
that included it? That
doesn't really. There was a lot of people coming in.
Yeah, it really did impact a lot.
I don't know. It's just when you're talking about a couple months ago, it's trying to figure out what was the activity going on in the state at the time, and what was the big sporting events that people were interested in. So, who knows?
Well, we're going to be moving ahead into the calendar into December of 2024.
Wow. Okay.
We got 3 states there. We have the first one is Maine. State of Maine reported record handle in December.
Wow. Okay.
State also passed $600 million in all-time handle. They had $520 million, just a little above that, in 2024 for a full year. DraftKings in that state accounted for 85% of the total handle.
Well, DraftKings, when I think of New England, I think of DraftKings when you're thinking of sports betting, because that's their home turf, sort of. Their corporate headquarters is in Boston, and so they have a very strong presence in New England. So
well, it's also there's only 2 online books, DraftKings and Caesars.
So
and also Oddfellows. The retail book, Oddfellows,
with an AH at the end.
Yeah. They actually reported negative revenue.
Okay, and that was Maine's first
right now, the first and only retail book right now. There's more coming, supposedly.
And this is December too.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the snowfall in Maine.
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm thinking about. It's always a lot of snowfall and a lot of it's tough getting around in the. It's beautiful, it's a beautiful state, but trying to get around in the wintertime. But I don't know how the weather was, how that affects retail books. Well, it's the retail book in Maine, so we'll see.
Moving over to the state of West Virginia, we've got their December report. Full year mobile revenue in the state passed $50 million for the first time in its history.
Wow. All right.
And also the state's full year handle passed $500 million for the third time in 4 years. Moving over to the state of New York, New York has reported their December sports betting report, and what a whopper that was.
Yeah.
New York became the first state to pass $5 billion in revenue post-PASPA.
Wow, okay.
4th consecutive month of $2 billion handles, 4 consecutive months of $150 million in revenue. Mobile industry passed $57 billion in all-time handle, $5 billion in all-time gross gaming revenue, $2.5 billion in all-time tax revenue.
These numbers are insane.
Yes.
I think we say it every week. I mean, these numbers coming out of New York are crazy.
Yes.
Can you imagine if Texas or California got on the ball and did what New York is doing? I mean, they'd be making money like this. It'd be incredible.
We're not done with New York yet, because we have the week ending January 5th. And New York made news by becoming the first state to pass $5 billion in all-time revenue. We've got them becoming recording their first weekly handle of over $600 million.
That's crazy.
That's almost handle for a month for one state sometimes too.
States don't get that in a couple of months. No. So that's incredible.
First weekly handle of $600 million, and also its 11th consecutive week of at least $34 million in weekly revenue. Some crazy stats there.
It's crazy. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
And also, New York has recorded record handle 3 times since the football season began.
And I'm just going to throw this out about New York. Can you imagine if they legalized online casinos?
Oh, yeah.
The amount of money they'd be raking in would be incredible.
That's it for the state and national reports. We're going to start talking deals right now. Starting off our deal segment, we've got Fanduel announcing a deal naming the operator as the official sports betting partner of the Tomorrow's Golf League, TGL.
Okay,
the Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy virtual golf / real golf venture. It did debut, and it was a very interesting crowd to watch, more so than the game. It looked like real golf, but it was all virtual until they got to the putting green. And the putting green, you can shift the putting green.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But it was more fun to watch the crowd and how they were reacting. It was almost like WWE meets golf.
Can I make a confession? When I saw TGL, I thought it was Tigers Golf League. I really thought
that's how people refer to it.
Well, everyone's calling it Tigers Golf League. Then I see TGL, and it's like, I guess that's what the T stands for. But it's actually Tomorrow's Golf League. All right.
And you're going to continue seeing.
I'm still going to call it Tigers Golf League. I don't know.
Well, FanDuel is going to be sponsoring the intermission segments of the golf league broadcasts, and
All
they're
right.
going to integrate odds and lines in the primetime broadcasts as well. You're also going to see future integrations. They'll also be on the sports betting website for Fanduel. They're going to have various betting options for the matches because it's team play. So there's a lot of different options.
I'm trying to think of where I saw this at because
it was on ESPN.
It is. They have the
Yeah.
media rights. So okay, I'm curious about where I can watch this.
I watched the debut broadcast, which was on ESPN. Which
Okay.
was fun to watch.
All right.
Moving over to motocross. We actually do not talk motocross enough on this show.
I know.
AltSportsData announced a deal with Super MotoCross League to offer sports betting products in the states where activity has been legalized for betting on motocross.
All right.
You're going to be seeing simulation trading platform data and sports betting data deals for broadcasts as well as for the entire SMX. That's SMX is the abbreviation for SMX World Championship Series, the Monster Energy AMA Supercross, Pro Motocross, and the SMX World Championship Playoffs.
Okay.
I don't know too much about Super Motocross
I don't-
League,
is that-
but
is this-
I gotta start learning that.
I know. I've seen it. It's indoors, but I also have seen some outdoors. I have to see if that's a different kind of division, outdoor versus indoor racing, or if it's all one kind of thing going
Yes.
on. But so no, that's great.
This is a data distribution deal for all of AltSportData's sportsbook clients, but also it brings into IC360, which is all part of this deal for integrity monitoring
Great.
of betting and wagering activity on Super Motocross.
Great.
Moving over to the Choctaw Nation, they have announced a partnership with ATP event, the Dallas Open Tennis. They're going to be having the new Choctaw Club at the Ford Center, where people are going to be able to do free-to-play casino games in it, as well as some other activations that are going to be happening in the club. You're also going to be seeing public hospitality areas with interactive entertainment.
Wow. All right.
And, this is all part of Choctaw's deals with sports. They've already done deals with the Mavericks, Dallas Stars, and the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
And last but not least, we've got DraftKings, actually, DraftKings did not announce this. Delta Airlines announced this at the Consumer Electronics Show.
I am assuming
Or Consumer
we're going to
Entertainment
hear
Show.
more and more about
Yes.
this because I guess right now we're going to talk about the preliminary stuff that we've heard. I'm sure over the next couple of weeks, maybe even by the time this airs, we're going to get more details on this arrangement or agreement or partnership or whatever they're calling it.
Most of it looks to be almost like free-to-play type games because under the Gambling Devices Act of 1962, I had to look this up,
Wow.
also known as the Johnson Act, gambling is illegal on U.S. commercial aircraft.
Okay.
Gambling is legal in the airports if it's legal in the jurisdiction where the airport sits.
Okay.
But on the aircraft itself, there's no gambling allowed. So everyone's thinking this is going to be more branding
Kinda
and
like a
free-to-play
predictive
games.
games
Yeah,
and stuff.
well, on social games.
Well, the first thing I thought of is here in New Jersey, our trains, some of the train stops in northern Jersey, it's BetMGM. They're
Yeah.
sponsored, and BetMGM is all over the place and things like that. I think it's even named the BetMGM line or something. I don't know how that's working or if one of the stations is called that, or there's signs of BetMGM everywhere because they did a deal with, I don't know what the hell.
New Jersey Transit.
Is it? They did
Yes.
Transit. I didn't know if they did it with Amtrak or whatever. But no, when I first thought, when I heard the DraftKings and the Delta Airlines, I thought it was something like that. I mean, you're going to see the logos everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know what this is all about.
Well,
I'm sure we're going to hear more and more about it, and certainly this could start a trend. Who knows?
Well, Delta still hasn't provided too much more data or information on what this deal is going to be. A lot of people are expecting it to incorporate earning Sky Miles for playing on DraftKings.
That's cool.
That could be a very interesting
That's
twist
good.
to all this.
Nice. All right.
That's it for the deals. We're going to start talking industry updates right after this.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-733-6860. 800-733-6860.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our industry update segment in the state of Michigan. Michigan Gaming Control Board has announced that they have issued a suspension of Twin Spires license in the state for violations of Michigan's gaming laws and the horse racing law of 1995.
See, this little battle is going to get interesting just because of the stances both sides are taking. So go ahead. I'll let you run through it.
Well, back on December 23rd, 2024, the Gaming Control Board in Michigan issued cease and desist letters to Twin Spires.
What a Christmas card, huh?
ExpressBet, Naira Bets, and TVG Network.
Wow. Okay.
All ordered to stop conducting business with state residents because there are no approved tracks right now in Michigan for advanced deposit wagering, ADW systems here. Everybody stopped except Twin Spires. Twin Spires responded to the Gaming Control Board that it would continue to offer wagering, and they were given a chance to bow out gracefully. So now they have been suspended by the Michigan Gaming Control Board, and we'll see what the next steps are right now.
I wonder why they responded the way they did. I'm sure they checked with all of their representatives and all their legal counsel, and they saw something maybe that that they thought they should be allowed to continue. So I don't know. I don't know what their plan was.
Maybe they're not offering Michigan racing, and maybe they thought they were free and clear of that. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see if there's an appeal coming or what they're going to be doing.
So this only really transpired in the last couple of weeks. So it's interesting.
We'll
December 23rd. Let's get this out.
Yeah, they were probably leaving the audience. Leaving the office.
Yeah. Before I leave the office,
let me hit send on this email.
Let me get this out. Before I go home.
Staying in Michigan, we've got Penn Entertainment launching the Hollywood Online Casino app in the state, following that recent launch that they had in Pennsylvania. Got another story coming out of a couple different states. We've got DraftKings being hit with a trio of class action lawsuits over its use of the risk-free terminology when promoting sign-up offers. First one was filed in New Jersey.
I thought that was all stopped.
Yep. But
I'm seeing no sweat kind of. I don't know if that was DraftKings, but I'm seeing the terminology.
There's 3 lawsuits.
Sweat free or something like that, or
one was filed in New Jersey.
All right.
Another one was filed in Illinois and one in Kentucky. These aren't for current promotions. These are past promotions that that have generated this class action lawsuit. They're just saying that it's and I'll read this right here. Promotions. The attorneys argued that the promotions promised risk-free betting and lucrative rewards, but reportedly imposed onerous terms that are not disclosed up front. And they also alleged that DraftKings exploits gambling-naive individuals and targets young men through aggressive advertising and opaque terms.
Okay.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of wordage for saying we didn't read the terms and conditions.
Yeah, you got to read the fine print. But the one thing is, I think they stopped it. They're not doing that anymore. I know a lot of states don't like that risk-free terminology, and I don't think they're doing it. I don't think any sport book is doing it right now.
Well,
I mean, they do that.
they were just recently filed, so
yeah,
we'll see where it goes. Usually these end up being dismissed or settled or something.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
in moving over to another area, we've got Penn Entertainment and ESPN announcing that 10 more retail branded sports books for ESPN Bet will be launching soon in early 2025. That will increase the total number of ESPN Bet branded sports books to 19.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, we're looking at Pennsylvania, Colorado, Ohio, Iowa, Indiana, West Virginia are going to be all added into the mix.
Nice. Okay.
They're going to be the Hollywood casinos as well as an Ameristar casino brand as well, which are run by Penn.
Okay.
Moving over to Pennsylvania, we've got Caesars Entertainment announcing the launch of its first branded online casino live dealer studio for its players on Caesars Palace Online Casino, Horseshoe Online Casino, and Caesars Sportsbook and Casino in Pennsylvania via their partnership with Evolution Gaming.
Yeah, it's in the Philadelphia area, right?
Philadelphia-based studio.
Yeah.
5 blackjack tables, including a VIP exclusive blackjack table. There's going to be 1 roulette table, 1 baccarat table, baccarat tables, and each table is going to have custom felt with imagery and branding from the Caesars Palace, Caesars Online Casino brands. There's also going to be some sports teams branding on there as well, so going to be really nice to see some online live dealer from Philly.
I'm getting it more into online dealers. You know, I was, I didn't jump right in on that to begin with, but I'm kind of enjoying it right now. So
moving up to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we've got the Wampanoag tribe. Now, we did this story last week as well, that they broke ground on what could be their first light casino property in the state in Taunton. They have also announced that there will be 10 gaming machines in the Welcome Center that they're calling it a Welcome Center.
Okay.
That's the first thing that they're building, the Welcome Center with 10 gaming machines in the Welcome Center. They're calling it a preview of things to come when they finally get to build the casino.
Okay.
More plans are coming to light as they go along.
I will have to check
Sorry,
that out.
didn't mean to pun there, but it's the first light resort and casino will be presented to the public. The plans for that in early 2025.
All right.
So expect it within the next month or two.
Okay.
And last story of the week, Jackpot.com announced the launch of its services in Arizona. That is now, I believe, their 8th state that they're in. It's got the draw games, Mega Millions, Powerball, the pick draw, which is the local big one for Arizona.
They got scratchers, too,
and
from what I hear.
Digital scratchers.
Yeah, they got scratchers. We don't have that yet in Jersey, so hopefully soon that will be coming.
Well, the Lady Luck was one of the scratchers, 230 million cash explosion. That's a long one to say. The Instant Millions, the 500 times fortune, there's a couple more out there as well.
Where they're the scratcher names, right?
Right, they're the scratchers.
Okay. All right.
That's it for the industry updates. We're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative roundup, we're heading over to the state of Missouri, which recently voted on the approval of sports betting or sports wagering in the state. The Missouri Gaming Commissioner has said that the MGC, the Missouri Gaming Commission, had already begun drafting rules and regulations prior to the election.
Hey,
they want to hit the ground running.
Be prepared,
And they are, the legislation calls for a December 1st launch. They're talking about maybe June.
Oh, okay.
So they may be moving faster than anticipated. Any date before December 1st is a great launch date. But it's
well, let me. Sports betting launches, I think, have become easier since a lot of states now allow sports betting.
Yes.
The operators know what to do. I mean, the regulators know what rules and regulation works in other states, so they have a good benchmark to try and hit and things like that, and good reference points on what works and what doesn't work in a state. So launching can be quicker than it has been in the last couple of years.
Well, the average right now is 10 months, but that's skewed because you have 15 states that did it in 7 and 4 states that did it in 24 months.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
you know.
really, you're looking at, 7 months would probably be a good
And if they're talking
idea.
about a June launch, it might even be earlier because they might do a soft launch in May or something like that, the last couple of weeks in May. So,
Over in Maryland, we've got Maryland State Delegate Vanessa Atterbury pre-filing House Bill 0017, which calls for the authorization and implementation of iGaming in the state. We'll see if that moves forward at all. They've been trying this, they've been discussing it. So, and also part of Atterbury's impetus for this is they want Maryland to join the multi-jurisdictional agreements with other legal iGaming states as well.
Yeah, I know. It just, if you thought sports betting made a state money, just look at what online casinos will do. So it's incredible.
And last one, we have New Hampshire.
Okay.
We have recently introduced HB 83, which aims to increase the legal age of sports betting. Currently, it's 18 in the state of New Hampshire, and they want to raise it to 21.
Okay.
Only 7 states right now allow, and jurisdiction, D.C., 7 states in Washington, D.C. allow 18-year-olds to legally play sports bets.
I'm surprised there are that many.
I'm surprised that many, too. So.
7. I was thinking, what, 4 or 5 maybe? But what, no, 7 now? 7 jurisdictions?
Well, some of them probably haven't even launched some of this stuff yet. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
But they want to raise it from 18 to 21, so we'll see if that gets any traction. A lot of the responsible gambling people are applauding this, and I think that's the right move to do right now.
Well, it's that weird kind of number, 18 years old. Here in New Jersey, to place a sports bet, you had to be 21. But to play lottery or horse racing, to place a horse racing bet, it'd be 18.
Yeah.
So, hey, who knows? Yes. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to see if sports bet or the horse racing will move up to 21. I seriously doubt that, but we'll see.
Well, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. As always, if you've been watching on TV, there's been a ticker flying by below us with additional news stories in the casino and sports betting industries, topics that we didn't have a chance to talk about. There's also entertainment and restaurant news as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
And as always, on Monday mornings when this show is released, there will be a full print version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button, and you'll be taken to a full print version there, which contains stories we talked about, some stories that are in the ticker, as well as other stories we didn't have a chance to talk about anywhere else. It's a full print version. Check it out at your leisure. And as always, press releases, announcements, news, info at turnpikesportsradio.com.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.